Welcome to today's Partner Web Conference, Building AI Applications that Leverage the Power of Cognitive Search, presented by Rodrigo Souza, Applied Data Scientist, Microsoft Research and AI, and Liam Kavanagh, Principal Program Manager for Azure Search. Rodrigo, you now have the floor.
Thank you, Doug. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second webinar of the Learn AI series. My name is Rodrigo Souza, and I'm a data scientist with the Microsoft Research and AI team. We have a special guest today. Liam, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Rodrigo. Hi, everyone. My name is Liam Kavanagh, and I am a program manager. I work on the Content Search and Intelligence team, which is part of the cognitive search that Rodrigo is going to be talking about today. I'm really excited to have Rodrigo talk about this technology. And I also want to let you know that I, as well as some other people, including Corm Thompson, are going to be online to help answer any questions you have. So as you're going through, please just put them in, and we'll try to answer them as soon as we can. So thanks, Rodrigo. I'll pass it back on to you.
Okay. Let's go. Today we talk about cognitive search and how it was used with the JFK Files project. We'll start with the Microsoft Vision and Platform for AI. Then we have cognitive search, concepts, and related technologies. And for the JFK project, you see architecture, demo, and the code. At the end, we have 10 minutes for a Q&A session. A small disclaimer before we go any further. This is not a session about the related technologies, but especially how they work together. This is a Microsoft Vision for AI. You can browse and deploy end-to-end solutions from the Azure AI Gallery. You can build your own solutions using the Azure platform. You can interact with intelligent agents like Cortana or bots. And we can use embedded AI into applications like Office 365, LinkedIn, or even Windows itself. And this is the AI platform, infrastructure, services, and tools. You can use it. You can use any operational system and deploy your models on premises, in the cloud, or even into IoT devices. For the JFK project, we use it pre-built AI, AI on data, and AI computes. You'll see more details in a few minutes. After some research, I chose this definition so we can better understand what cognitive search is. Artificial intelligence, computing which simulates human perception. Cognitive, from an IT perspective, the process of intellectual activity. Search, from a web perspective, the experience of a natural, low-friction way to interact with applications and data. Finally, the definition for cognitive search: extract relevant information from big and diverse data in users' contexts. Perception drives to context, and we can say cognitive search is cognitive skills with a search engine. If I'm going too fast, please let me know. And what are the Microsoft-related technologies for cognitive search? First one we see is cognitive services. The value of AI isn't about fancy algorithms, but how to make it easy to use. As you can see, we have APIs to simulate human cognitive skills. The servers are pre-built and pre-trained deep learning models published on Azure to accelerate your AI project. They have free tiers. They can be used with just a few lines of code and work across platforms like iOS, Android, and Windows. For the JFK project, we use a computer vision and entity linking APIs. In the Cognitive Service portal, we have a directory for APIs grouped by category. With a few clicks, you can see pricing.
Hey, Rodrigo, sorry to interrupt you. It seems like from the sharing window that some of your presentation is getting cut off. I'm wondering if maybe you're sharing, if you could reshare it or run the PowerPoint in full mode. I'm not sure if you can see this, but it is getting cut off.
Let me try again.
Thanks, Rodrigo.
Can you see my screen?
I can see your screen, and it looks like the bottom right hand of your PowerPoint is being cut off.
That's strange because I can see very well here in my
Okay.
screen.
Well, let's keep going. I think people can see most of it. So, and we'll share the presentation with people very soon too.
Okay.
Thanks, Ron.
Yeah, that's strange because, well, let's move on. So we are missing which corner?
It's just in the bottom right for some people, but some people seem to say that if you change it to high definition, then it's okay. But I think it's just the captions are too huge. But that's okay, Rodrigo. Just keep going, and we'll share the PowerPoint.
Okay.
Thanks.
Let's go. So in the cognitive service portal, with a few clicks, you can see pricing and documentation about the API you need. Example, the computer vision API used in the JFK project is free up to 5,000 transactions per month and works with curl or any other language capable to call a REST API. Also, you can download all documentation in PDF format. It also has demos, allowing you to see expected JSON results for each API. Sample media is provided, but you can upload your own. We'll do this in a few minutes. With computer vision API in the JFK project, we read text from images and PDF files. With the entity link API, you get the Wikipedia ID of the terms and expressions extracted from the computer vision processing I just mentioned. So these two technologies work together. These two APIs work together, one after the other. Azure Search, the second Microsoft technology, used it for cognitive search in the JFK project. It's a cloud search path service for web and mobile applications. It's easy to scale up and down and has 99.9% SLA. It creates an index with metadata about your data. It's not data integration, it's not data replication, it's an index with information about your data. Provides natural language processing and has special features for semi-structured or unstructured data. Which features are these? Spelling mistakes, geospatial data, not only plotting, but also distance, intersections, and so on. Suggestions, ranking, paging, highlighting, and facets. If you ever worked with a relational database, you can imagine how complicated it is to do all of this with SQL. Lots of ifs, like percent queries, very bad for performance, subqueries, cursors, secondary indexes. So it's pretty hard to index unstructured data with SQL, to work with unstructured data with SQL. That's where Azure Search helps the most. And how it works? It has scoring profiles, so it can define ranking and relevance for each term. The scoring process has a default algorithm, but you can create your own. Azure Search provides processing capabilities for multiple languages, removing stop words or providing conceptual understanding of the data. You can use Lucene or Microsoft algorithms for this. Possible data sources are Azure SQL, any string column, Cosmos DB, files on blob storage, including Office files, PDF, CSV, XML, and so on. And also Azure Tables, our key value storage on Azure. Now let's see how we use it cognitive search with the JFK project. Some context: President John Kennedy was assassinated on November 1963 in Dallas. He was shot by a lone gunman named Lee Harvey Oswald. At least that's the official version. The following investigation produced thousands of documents, and in 1992, the American Congress defined 2017 as the deadline to release the unseen files. The documents has been held in the National Archive, and the majority are already public in PDF format. President Trump delayed some documents release because of national security concerns. So how many documents are we talking about? Just a few releases were about 34,000 documents, and there's much more to come. Manual analysis was the only option at that time, but now we can use cognitive search to help the FBI and the CIA. In the right, you can see the cognitive search features used in this project. From the Vision API, we used OCR and handwritten read. From the external linking API, we used external linking. From Azure Search, we used suggestions, ranking, highlighting, and paging. Now let's see the architecture of the solution. Here's the data flow, a constant process of ingestion, enrichment, and exploration of existing and to be released data. Explorations may identify new documents and enrichments required. We are also using a CIA API named Cryptonyms. It returns skills about names, codes, organizations, and so on. The whole process is called cognitive search pattern. It feeds data into the cloud and applies cognitive skills, the action to use cognitive service for data enrichment. Structured data is stored as annotations and creates new search experience for data exploration. More details about the architecture, now using these 1997 CIA visuals from the original documents. Every time a new file is uploaded to blob storage, Azure function triggers the cognitive search pattern. Each document is submitted to the computer vision API for OCR and handwriting analysis. The extracted text is submitted to the entity linking and the CIA APIs. The results are stored in Cosmos DB. Azure Function also starts the Azure Search indexing process for the new data. Azure Search updates the index with multiple rankings, and there is an end-user application to query and navigate through the data. So that's the whole JFK project architecture, and you have access to the code on GitHub. These are the key links for the project to help you learn, demo, and build the solution. Don't worry about the links. You have access to this presentation later in a few minutes. You have access, don't worry. The first one is the official blog post about the project, a good starting point for this use case. The second link is the official demo. We'll do it together in a few minutes. The third link is the GitHub repo, where you find all the code and instructions to deploy the project. You also can easily adapt the code to another use case using your client's data. Now we use the browser and the data science virtual machine for some demos and to check the code. So I'm gonna leave the presentation. We'll come back here later. Here, this is the Cognitive Services portal. As I mentioned before, we have a directory with all of the APIs grouped by category, also pricing and documentation. We are using the Vision category, the Computer Vision API. This API allows you to analyze an image. For any image, you have a description with tags and the confidence of this description. People waiting at the train station, this is the initial example. You can use another photos. People posing for a photo, and also with the age of these people. Also, we have the confidence for each tag, format, size, and so on. Another capability of this API is read text in image. This process is called OCR, Optical Character Recognition. And now we'll use one of the JFK files document we have. This is Lee Harvard Oswald. You